Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Let's wait for few more minutes, just 2 more minutes, and then we'll quickly get started. Before that, watch out my channel intro. Okay, so welcome guys to the stream. As you all know that today's class is going to be on exploratory data analysis. Uh, Again, this is a continuation class. This was basically, exploratory data analysis has nothing to do with Power BI or Python or any of these tools. It's just a normal statistical concept, okay? And as you all are attending my my Power BI classes, we have already finished 3 classes, as you all know. And just before the live dashboard, there was a topic called as EDA, and I just didn't wanted to skip that part, and because of that, and already we had announced the 4 days classes, right? So I couldn't fit EDA in the program because of time constraints, and because of that we are conducting this session. So in this class I will be talking about EDA. We'll be talking about exploratory data analysis. What exactly does this mean? And we'll also be doing some Python analysis, like EDA in Python, and we'll also be side by side, we'll also be doing EDA in Power BI. See, the whole idea about this session is just understanding the concepts of EDA. What exactly is EDA? That's more important. How you do it is not that important, because some people are confident on Python, some people are confident on Power BI, some people are confident on other tools. So you can just do it wherever you want to. That's not a problem. Okay, so give me a second. Probably I'll try to switch my presentation to another file. Just give me 1 second. Everybody is able to hear me, right? Do you plan to teach data warehousing concepts? No. Data warehousing concepts are not required for data analysts. They are required for data warehouse experts. So I don't cover that part. Give me, yeah, I got it. I got it. Any other questions before we get started? I'm just trying to get that presentation, and I'll quickly share, because I was earlier presenting this slides on Google Slide, and on Google Slide I cannot do the annotation, so that was a problem. So I'm just switching back to uh, PowerPoint, and should be, yes, everything is all right. Let me know if you are able to see my screen just in 2 seconds. One, two, three. You're able to see? So great. So we'll quickly get started. Oh, sorry, this presentation mode, I will just move on to the whole screen. Okay, everything looks fine. Let's get started. 20 people, and let's just enjoy the session. Everything is all right. Live session on exploratory data analysis. Spelling mistakes, no spelling mistakes, right? Else people will tell me, oh, you don't know the spelling of this word. Everything is all right. Okay, good. Thank you. So, welcome back. We'll be talking about exploratory data analysis. Now, before getting into the EDA part, we will try to understand what is EDA, which tools do we use to perform EDA, because EDA is by far the most important concept for a data analyst, for data scientist as well. And trust me, if you watch this particular session end to end, there are 2 more EDA lectures on my session on my YouTube channel as well. That also you can follow. So nothing to worry about. This is nothing but a repetitive session, but uh, it is fun to watch a session live, right? Rather than watching it in 2x mode. Anyways, so what is EDA? EDA deals with the process of performing initial investigations on data with the help of summary statistics and graphical representations. In simple terms, EDA, see, EDA is just a fancy term, and statisticians like to call it EDA. In layman's term, it is nothing but data analysis. In layman's term, it is nothing but insight gathering. We have to find the information from the data. That's it. Similarly, there are many more fancier words as well in statistics. Statisticians like to call that way. If you just don't call that word, they will be offended. Another example is average. One of my previous company where I joined another a company, I'll not name the company. There, my manager asked me what is the difference between mean and average, and I was like, "What the hell? Both are same." And then he was like, "No, mean is the statistical definition of average," and I was like, "Seriously? I mean, all you understand is they both do the same work, right?" So, anyways, so fun. Let's keep the fun side apart. Now, these are the four different items or four different subcategories of topics that we will be studying. That EDA is all about discovering patterns, spotting anomalies. What is anomaly? And then testing hypothesis and checking assumptions. What is anomaly? So many topics will be covered in this video. It will be short, 1 hour or max 2 hours. I don't know. I don't know the exact time that will take for this session. I am planning for 1 hour because I have some other work to do after this. But if it gets extended to 2 hours, I cannot help. So anomalies are nothing but simple terms, those data points that are far away from the other data points in your data set. Abnormalities. Yes, somebody responded in the chat box. Okay, outliers. Let's say you are analyzing a data, something like this. These points probably are some anomalies that are easily detected by a human eye. Why this is an anomaly? Because this is far away from the rest of the data points. But there are many more anomalies in data that is not identifiable by human eyes. Okay. So in that case, we have to perform some anomaly detection techniques to identify those anomalies. What do we do with anomalies is a separate story. For EDA purpose, we don't get rid of anomalies. After EDA, when you get into machine learning, when you're working on multiple algorithms, in those scenarios, anomalies will be very much important because there are certain algorithms that are able to deal with anomalies, and there are certain algorithms that don't deal with anomalies. In that case, you will have to get rid of anomalies and then do your predictive analytics part. Okay. So these are the four different steps in EDA. Outline of performing EDA. Why are we performing EDA? See, try to understand this question that people who are going to join as a data analyst, some or the other day, you will have to perform EDA. Some or the other day, guaranteed. So, whenever you get a task of performing EDA on a specific data, always these are the few questions that should always come to your mind. What questions are you trying to solve? What is the business problem? What are we trying to solve? If your manager simply gives you, hey, this is the data and do EDA, like what the hell is that? What is the data? What is the use case? You have to ask him, what is the problem that we are trying to solve? Okay, either you ask him or try to understand it by yourself. Maybe if you have domain knowledge, you will be able to understand, oh, this is the customer data, probably we are doing this and this, right? So if you don't understand the problem statement, ask, what kind of data do you have and how do you treat different types of data? What's missing from the data and how to deal with it? This is one of the most important topics in EDA, how to handle missing values. Okay, where are the outliers? Where are the outliers and why should you care about them? Outliers are very important because they are far away from the rest of the data points. So identifying an outlier and dealing with it is very important. How can you add, change, or remove features? What does this mean? Now just imagine you have customer ID, you have age, you have tenure, you have gender, you have geography. Let's say you want to add a new column called as age bins. Now this is nothing but your addition of a feature. That means you are creating a new feature. Let's say customer ID is not important, so you remove those features, right? So how can you add, remove, and change features to get more of your data? This is your overall outline of performing EDA. Okay. Steps involved in EDA. These are the major steps that are involved in EDA. The first step is always data sourcing. Okay. So data sourcing, I usually give the same story that data sourcing depends from companies to company. Now, if I distribute or divide the companies in three categories, let's say one is MNC, another one is a mid-level company, another one is a startup. Now, in MNCs, or definitely they have been capturing data since quite a long time, right? MNCs means multinational companies. They might be having data, a lot of data. So in that case, you have to ask a question that am I going to use our existing data, or are we doing some research on some public data? So that once you answer that question, then you will be able to understand from where do you get the data from. Most likely, they might already be having a lot of data in their databases, so you have to use that. Same with mid-level companies as well. Now coming on to startups. Now startups has two types of environment. One startup is having a client, and another startup is very new, they don't have a client. Now again, if you have a client, that means you should always ask data to the client. Again, in this scenario, your client could also tell, oh, I don't have data, can we just work on some public data sets, or can you just try to scrape data from online, or from some website, or from some of my competitor website? In that case, as a data analyst, you should always be focused on the data scraping part as well. So data scraping is also important for data analyst. It's not that simple, you just learn Power BI and find a job. It's not like that, right? Right now, with the current trend in the market, so many people are entering the field of data analytics, data science. So you always have to upskill. Okay. So if your client has data, take his data. If not, take the public data set. And in this scenario where you don't have client, it's always public data set. So in these two scenarios, you always need data scraping concepts or data scraping knowledge as well. So data sourcing is the first topic, first most important topic in EDA. After you have got the data, let's say this is your data that you have got, could be from a database, could be a flat file, could be anything. Now what? Now, the next step is data cleaning. Inside cleaning data, there are a lot more topics: handling missing values, handling invalid data type, handling any issues with the mic. I'm already using a Razer mic. Others, can you tell me, is the voice not clear? Maybe Harsh, you should join back the stream. Could be an issue with your end, because I'm already using Razer mic, which costs 8,000 rupees. Okay, just kidding. Don't take it seriously. Okay, just rejoin the stream. It will be okay. So data cleaning is very important. Handling missing values, handling invalid data types, getting rid of outliers, and a lot of topics are going to be studied in this part. Okay. After your data cleaning is done, that's where your final data comes into picture. Final data means your transformed data. People also call it as transformed data. You call it as raw data. Raw data. Okay. Now, again, there is a concept here. People also are very confused. Data analysts are being asked about ETL and ELT and all those things. What does that mean? ETL simply means extract, transform, and load. ELT means extract, load, and transform. Again, these are two different topics that you might need to know about, but not in depth. Okay, so I will not cover ETL, ELT, all these things in this class, else it will be a bunch of everything. So we'll not cover that. Now, just imagine from raw data, you are converting into a transform data. And this transform data is ready for your analysis. Okay. Now, now you have your transform data. In your data, our first task is to identify what are the categorical features and what are the numerical features. Once you know the categorical features, there are multiple analysis that you need to do. So categorical analysis includes univariate analysis. Univariate, write down the names, I will explain you later. Bivariate analysis and multivariate analysis. Multivariate. These are the three different analysis that we do in categorical features. In numerical features, we do correlation, we plot some scatter plots and check some values, we plot some dished plots to check how the distribution is among these numerical objects and a lot of things. After that, there are certain scenarios where we also derive metrics. Derive metrics basically means if you want to, yeah, we can cover ETL some other day. I will have another live session on ETL maybe next week, Wednesday or something. We can figure this out. Okay. So derive metrics is nothing but you are extracting some features from your existing features. That's it. Okay. So this is all about ED. Now, even if you don't memorize it, you will still be able to remember all these things, right? First is data sourcing, getting the data. Second is data cleaning. Third is your analysis, and fourth is your derived metrics. Inside analysis there will be categorical analysis, there will be numerical analysis. Okay. Now comes the data cleaning part. So we'll quickly go through the theoretical concepts, maybe in 15-20 minutes, and then we will jump into the practical part. Okay. So practical, I have the Python code ready. So I will run it in Python. In parallel, I will also show it in Power BI. Okay. So it's a mix of concepts. Basically, it's a session of EDA in Python and Power BI both. Okay. And it will be a little bit fast. So if you want a detailed session, you can watch out the live recordings, okay, which I already have on the channel. Data cleaning. What does data cleaning mean? Handling missing values. Okay. Now, what does handling missing values mean? Handling missing values means handling missing values, right? Let's say you have missing values, you have to handle it. Now, there are some logics that we use. For example, you have data. Okay. Some columns are here. Now just imagine this particular column, 80% of the data points, let's say 61, null, 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 30, null, 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 null. So if more than 75% or 80% of the data is null, why do we need this column, right? So logically what we do is we delete the rows or columns that has more than 75% missing data. Okay. Again, it's not a very hard and fast rule to do this. Okay. I will explain you a scenario where you need to analyze that and then delete it. I will talk about it. The second approach is replacing the missing values with mean, median, and mode. So what is mean? If I take few numbers 5, 15, 20, 7, 9, 12. What will be the mean? The mean will be 5 plus 15, 20 plus 20, 40, 47, 56, 68. 68 divided by 6. It will be 10 point something. Okay. That is going to be the mean. Now, if you have a missing value, in that case, you are going to impute it using the mean value. If you do it using median, what is median? 5, 15, 20, 7, 9, 12. What will be the median here? To find the median is basically your middle value. To find the median, you have to sort it out first. 5, 7, 9, 12, 15, 20. Now, what is the middle value? The middle value is 9 and 12. Now, 9 plus 12 is 21 divided by 2 is 10.5. So if you want to impute it using median value, you can impute it using median value. So these are few techniques to replace values as well. If you have a categorical feature, let's say you have gender, you have female, female, null, null, male, female. So in this case, three are female and two are, sorry, one is male. So here the mode will be clearly female. So some people also impute it as female. Some people also do this thing. Let's say female, female, null, null, male, null, null, female. Now here the distribution is three female and one male. That means 75% female and 25% male. Some people also do this way. They impute three records as female and one as male just to maintain this ratio. Okay, so there is no hard and fast rule in this particular step. What we do is we do random hit and trial. So in EDA, you can basically fill it with anything. But these kind of techniques are very important when you deal with your predictive analytics part. In predictive analytics, let's say you are creating a AI model, maybe a classification model. In that case, what we do is we create model. Here, let's say we impute it as mean, and then after creating model, we check the accuracy. Maybe if the accuracy is low, I will again come back to the step and impute using median. Again, check the accuracy. So in your predictive analytics part, a lot of hit and trial is performed. Okay, so you can use any of them. The third technique is algorithm imputation. As I already told you that in machine learning, there are many algorithms that don't require you to deal with these scenarios. They automatically deal with it. So null values imputation is also not required. In some scenarios, people also do some predicting the missing values, which means, let me just clear it out, which basically means, what is this scenario? Predicting missing values. Now just imagine you have weather data, or not weather, temperature. 25, 26 null, 27 null, 31 null, 27, 29 null. Now let's say you have four missing values. Okay, so if I take the mean technique, I know I have to calculate the mean and then impute it, right? This technique is basically nothing but, let's say you take two values and do a forecasting. So there are some time series algorithms which are used for forecasting. Now you forecast this value. Just imagine your forecasted value is 25.5. Now you take all these values and forecast this. Then you take all these values and forecast this. Then you take all these values and forecast this. So this is a very tedious task. It takes a lot of time in imputing the missing values. So normally we don't do this, but it is good for explanation. If you are going for interviews, if somebody asks you, then you can probably explain these scenarios. Okay. Sandeep, Snowflake schema. Snowflake is not covered. I'm not going to teach Snowflake. Gateways, yes, I will cover in the next Sunday's class. 15-20 minutes I'm going to cover about scheduled refresh and gateways, and then I'll jump into the dashboard. So I already covered this part, types of data, which is qualitative and quantitative. Again, fancy names, don't get confused. Qualitative data means a variable to describe the quality of the population. Simply qualitative means categorical data. Quantitative means numerical data. Fancy terms, that's it. Okay. Again, in categorical data, there are multiple options like nominal and ordinal. What is nominal and what is ordinal? Do we have an example? Yes, we have an example here. Nominal data is nothing but, let's say, gender, male or female, location, this or that, Mumbai or Delhi or Kolkata. That's a nominal data. Ordinal data means a categorical feature which is in order. Let's say economic status, low, medium or high. Maybe gradation, student grades, A, B, C, D, E. All these are ordinal data. Okay. In quantitative, there are discrete and continuous. So number of students in a class and height of students. All these are different types of data. Derived matrix is something which is being derived or extracted from your existing features. Create a new variable from existing variables to get insightful information from the data. The first technique is feature binning. What is feature binning? Age to age bin. Let's say you have this numerical feature and you want to convert it into bin 0 to 20, 0 to 20. Let's say you have 30, 0 to 20. This is 20 to 40, something like that. That means you're extracting this bin from this particular feature. Another concept is feature encoding. Now, what is feature encoding? Feature encoding is simply nothing but in machine learning, logically what happens is when we have categorical data, ultimately when we pass our data to our AI models, in that case, AI models are simply nothing but some programs in our computer machines, right? And computers don't understand the categorical data. Okay, so computers don't understand categorical data, so it always required to convert categorical into numerical. Now, one quick example will be, let's say you have gender, male, female, male, female, female. Simply, how can I convert it into numbers? I will give male as 1, female as 0, or vice versa. This is one technique. Another technique is, so this technique is called as label encoding. Another technique is one hot encoding. Let's say you have location. You have Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata. So what we do is we create three columns: location Delhi, location Mumbai, location Kolkata. So wherever you see Delhi, 1 0 0, Mumbai 0 1 0, Kolkata 0 0 1, Delhi 1 0 0, Mumbai 0 1 0. Now this data has been converted from a categorical data to numerical data. This concept is called as one hot encoding. So there are multiple encoding techniques. One hot encoding, there is label encoding, there is dummy encoding, there is hash encoding. I have a detailed video on encoding on my channel. In case you are interested, just save it. Maybe just write it down. Search data encoding and my name. You will be able to get the video. Okay. I'm not that famous on YouTube, so whichever topic you search with my name. You will get the videos. Okay. And the next one is from domain knowledge. So let's say sometimes using our domain knowledge also, we create multiple features. Yes, dummy variable, that's what I told, or one hot encoding and dummy encoding, right? So many people might not be knowing about this concept called as feature encoding. Just go through the videos. And next one is calculated from data. So it could be multiple scenarios where you might have to derive some features from our existing features. That's also a very important part. So repetitive slide, I will just skip it. So here, handling missing values, I have already taught. Feature scaling technique. Now, feature scaling is a very important technique. Simply, what is feature scaling? I will try to explain in a layman's point of view. Okay. And feature scaling is very important when you are feeding your data to your AI models for predictive analytics. It is not required for EDA. Okay, for EDA, feature scaling is not required, but this concept is this concept is very required for AI models. Okay, so what is scaling? Just imagine when you are in my class, you have to imagine. So there is an imaginary world, and I keep talking about this thing: imagine, imagine, imagine. So I have customer ID. It's not customer ID. I will just change it. Let's say I have just name. Okay, some name, height, and weight. Okay, there are some people, and there are some height. Let's say 172, 171, 180, 165, 170. and weight is 85, 90, 79, 80, 100. Okay. Now, simple question. What is the units here? Is this centimeters, meters, or feet? Can somebody tell me in the chat box? Write down in the chat box. Okay, great. I'm not able to see the chat box, but keep writing. What is the unit for height and what is the unit for weight? The unit for height is very simple. It is centimeters. The unit for weight is kgs. How are you able to tell this? Simple answer is because you know this shit from quite a long time, right? You know these things since a lot of since you're since maybe since quite a long time. But how will computers know about it? If you pass this data to the computer, computer will understand this is nothing but 172.85. What it will interpret. So computers don't understand the units. They don't understand. They only understand the magnitude. So normally what happens is computers treat numbers equally. So what they do is they will give some priorities to this number and give some low priorities to this number. There could be some scenarios where they could give high priorities to this number, low priorities to this feature. In that case, your entire predictive modeling part will be messed up, right? In order to not do that, you don't want to create a biased model. So feature scaling is important. Now, if I scale it down, what will be the output? I'm just writing it here, height and weight. Scaling means you are scaling down to a certain number. Let's say I want to scale this to a range of 0 to 1. I also want to scale this to a range of 0 to 1. What can I do? I can simply divide all the numbers by the maximum number. So 172 divided by 180, maybe 0.95. I'm not, maybe we can do it. 172 divided by 180, 0.95. 171 divided by 180, again 0.95. This is 1. 165 divided by 180, 0.91. 170 divided by 180, 0.94. Now all the numbers are within the same range. Same with weight. I will do 85 divided by 100, 0.85, 0.9, 0.79, 0.81. Now, if you give these numbers to computers, they will treat them equally. See, in feature importance wise, this number was the highest here. It is still the highest here. This number was the highest for weight. This number is still the highest for weight. So feature importance is remaining the same, but the numbers are scaled down. So this is a very important concept that we do in our predictive modeling part. But try to understand this way that there are two techniques. One is standardization and another technique is called as normalization. Standardization is simply converting the data into x minus mean divided by standard deviation. Simply what you can do here is try to open your Excel sheets. Okay, try to do this exercise after this call. Try to write down few data points: 172, 171, 180, 165, and then 170. Let's say this is your height. Right. Okay. Now calculate your mean. What will be your mean? Let's say mean is nothing but mean is nothing but average of these four numbers. That's your mean. What will be your standard deviation? So you can pick in any tool. Yeah, I'm just picking Excel. So what will be standard deviation? Let's say standard deviation of population. So on this, now what will be the standardized value? X minus mean divided by sigma. So this equals to, let me just create the mean column here, which is 171.6, 171.6, 171.6, 171.6. Okay, this will be height minus mean. What will be the value? This minus this 0.4. I'll just extract it. Now I will do this divided by 4.84. This divided by 4.84. Now you can see all these numbers are scaled down. And this is the technique which is used here, standardization. Similarly, in normalization, what you need to do? You need to find the minimum value and the maximum value. Let's say I will just copy paste it for another sheet. Now I don't need mean. I don't need all these things here, right? So here what I will do is I need the minimum value and the maximum value. So here I will do this minus mean. What is the minimum value? 165 divided by max minus mean. If I do this, sorry, something is wrong. This is 0.67. Similarly, if you do this for all these values, it will again be scaled down. And this is what I told here. This concept is called as normalization. Okay. So these are the two concepts that is very much important. If somebody asks you what is standardization and normalization, which is again very important question in interviews, you have to memorize this formula. Standardization is nothing but x minus mu by sigma, and normalization is nothing but x minus x mean divided by x max minus x mean. Okay. Our next topic is outlier treatment. Outliers are most extreme values in the data. It is an abnormal observation that deviates from the norm. Outliers do not fit in the normal behavior of the data. Detect outliers using following methods. So we detect outliers using multiple methods. Okay. And using these methods, we can identify outliers. Sometimes we have to remove the outliers, but as I told you in EDA, it's not required. Okay. I haven't done outlier removal in EDA so far. It's not required because outlier detection and removal is more important for your AI modeling part, not for EDA. Okay, but you can do it. Just in case you want to show some more insights, you can do it. Now, how to perform these steps? Again, I do have a video on this probably. I don't remember. Maybe I'll just try to open. I don't remember. Yes, outlier detection is already there using standard deviation, box plot, and outliers. Probably you can check out that video and then you can go through it. Okay. So I'll not cover this because it's already covered because we have a lot to cover right now. Handle invalid value. So there will be certain scenarios where you are not having data in a proper format, right? There could be some encoding issue, there could be some incorrect data types. Sometimes date is in this format and you need to convert it into this format. So there could be certain scenarios like this where you should also do these steps, right? You should convert it into a proper format so that you can use it in the future. Now, analysis. EDA is evolving around these four concepts. So these are the four concepts that EDA is evolving around. One is univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, correlation, and outliers. Yeah, videos are on my channel. Okay. I think mostly EDA is covered on my channel already. If you want to have subtopics, just search like outliers. You search outlier Satyajit, you will be getting some videos. Outlier correlation, you will be getting some videos. So something like that. I don't remember, but there are some videos. Okay. So EDA is evolving around these four concepts: univariate, bivariate, correlation, and outliers. Now, use cases of EDA. EDA, as I told you, in data science right now also at least 60-70% of the companies are only dependent on EDA. Only 30 to 40% companies are working on the predictive modeling part. And among this 30 to 40%, there could be 10 to 20% who would be working on computer vision and very high end NLP concepts. Still, there are many companies who are hiring more and more research analysts who would be more interested in performing EDA, because EDA is a very strong concept. Okay. And use cases are numeric: customer churn analysis, cancer data analysis, fraud data analytics, banking related analytics, Google Analytics. So you just pick your domain, try to search data analytics use cases in my domain, like my use cases in marketing. There will be a lot of things. Okay, funnel analysis, a lot of things are there. So in this class, we will be talking about subscriber churn. Okay, customer churn analysis. So many people, if you are a repetitive subscriber, you might be knowing that I have a lot of videos related to this particular use case. So I'll be repeating the same. And in this class, we'll be learning about subscriber churn analysis. That means I will talk about these things. I will talk about the data. I'll talk about the business understanding. Okay, business understanding. I will talk about why. That means why are we solving this problem? And I will also talking about the how part. How are we solving it? Okay. First of all, data is Kaggle data. Okay. But the Python notebook that I will share with you, which I have already shared on my channel with many other people, uh, that is already on my GitHub repository as well. It's a Kaggle data, but the EDA file that I'm going to give you, you can simply use that architecture or skeleton file for any kind of EDA in the entire world. Okay, very few things you have to change. So my file is well structured and it has everything line by line. Everything is explained in that particular file. So there is nothing problem when you go through that file. It's a Python file, but as I told you, that it's not going to be very difficult for you to understand those lines. And you are going to simply take that code and apply for your own specific EDA use case. Okay. So you don't have to write the codes from scratch. So don't get frightened by seeing Python notebooks. Okay. Second one is business understanding. What is the business understanding about this particular problem? Now, I usually pick this project because out of my 10.5 years of experience, 7 years come from telecom domain. So this is one of my classic projects that I have created end to end. I can bet people who have this project on their channel or on their course, I'm pretty much sure they might not be knowing the end-to-end use case, but I have already created this. Okay. People think that it's very simple thing, just take it, prepare a classification model, done. It does not happen that way. Subscriber churn is very complex. Okay, but we will not be focused on the AI part. We will be focused on the EDA part. We will try to analyze the data first. Okay, but before understanding the data, we will talk about the business understanding. Okay, what is the use case all about? What are we trying to solve and all those things? Why this use case and how? Okay, so I have some beautiful visualizations which people will like it. As I told you that people think subscriber churn is simply okay. Before getting into this, let me explain you this use case once more. Churn means somebody who leaves a company. Okay, subscriber means subscriber. You know that. I will give examples. Telecom. Let's say today you all are using Vodafone. Okay, and just imagine you are using a 199 rupees plan. You are getting unlimited data, unlimited calls, blah blah blah. Okay, now Airtel launches a new plan. 99 rupees, everything is unlimited. There will be so many people who will churn this. Like they will leave Vodafone and they will switch to Airtel. They will do the portability and they will quickly jump in. Now, this scenario where customers are moving from Vodafone to Airtel is basically called as customer churning. And these customers are a loss to Vodafone company. It's a gain to Airtel company, but loss to Vodafone. Now imagine you are working as a data scientist in Vodafone. You will be given this particular data and you will be given, can you analyze what is the exact reason why people are leaving? Another use case of churning is banking. See, just pick any industry, churning is a common use case. Okay, you can simply relate with your own use, with your own domain. How banking is related to churning? Simple. Today you are using Kotak. It is giving you FD 6% on 2 lakhs and above, for an example. Now you are exploring HDFC. HDFC is providing you 7% FD on 2 lakhs. Or else HDFC is giving you few more features. So there will be certain amount of people who will be churning from Kotak and joining HDFC, right? This is nothing but the customer churn. Another use case, a very one of the use cases which you will be able to relate, that I know many people are into gaming, right? Many people play games. Even I play games. If you open my desktop, you will see a lot of games. Even after this call is over, I will play some games. So in gaming, people tend to install and uninstall apps, right? Now, if you install an application X, after a few days you get bored and you jump into application Y. Yes, I play Valorant. If you are playing X and you are pissed off and you switch to Y, that means you are churning from X. What is the reason? That there could be multiple reasons. Let's say in game X, you think that the game is too easy and you are pissed off. What the hell is this? And then you are pissed off and you drop and you join another game. Or else you are stuck at one particular level for ages and you are pissed off. Oh, I'm not able to move my rank. This is not a good game. Then you switch to another game. So any industry you talk about, there will definitely be a case like this. HR analytics. In HR domain, employees leave companies, right? Why do employees leave the companies? Now that's where HRs needs to do our EDA on their candidates profile data, right? So any use case, any industry you go, there will be a use case related to churning. And that is one of the reasons why I picked this use case, because it is applicable for all the industries. Okay. Now, these presentations are very much related to telecom. So try to have some focus here, because in telecom also, churning is not simply moving from one network to another network. That is just one type of churning. That is just one type of churning. There are multiple types of churning. First is tariff plan churn. For an example, you are on a 999 plan and you move to a 499 plan. Now you will ask me, why is it called as a churn? Simply because earlier there is a 500 rupees reduction from one user for 1 month. That means 6,000 Indian rupees of loss for one customer. Just imagine 1 million customers. You can just imagine how much cost it is, right? Sorry, not 500, yeah, 500, right? So this is also a type of churn. We have to understand why people are moving from this plan to this plan. Okay, even if we are providing everything here, Here there is a limited, let's say here your data is unlimited, here your data is 2 GB. Why people are moving? That you need to analyze. Another type of churn is service churn. Example, weekly, monthly subscription. Let's say you are you are on prepaid. You have some subscriptions, caller tune, etc., etc., and then you cancel out some plans. This is also a type of churning. Another churning is product churn. Example, postpaid to prepaid. Why this is called as a churn? Imagine in postpaid, it's a regular income to the company. If you are on 999 plan, 100% guarantee that your bill will at least be 999. On top of that, if you are doing some extra international calling and all those things, it will definitely be greater than that. It cannot be lesser than that. That means there is a guaranteed 12,000 income from a particular customer. If this customer moves to prepaid, well, today he is using 999, that's fine. But after 3 months, he could move to 399. He could move to 299. So there is no guarantee of this income. This is also a type of churn. And another type of churn is usage churn. We are taking a lot of time explaining these concepts. I'll try to quickly wind it up in 5-10 minutes and then we'll jump into the code part. Okay. Decision cycle of a subscriber changes as per needs and or experiences. Now, this is a decision cycle of a subscriber. I am a mobile customer and I haven't thought about churning. Why? Because it's too complex. Honestly speaking, this type of customer is me. Okay, because I find portability and all those things, the process is too complex for me. It's too irritating for me. I'm feeling too lazy for this activity. So these kind of customers are inert subscribers. The next one is I am a customer. I haven't thought about churning because my operator is the best. This is unconditionally loyal customer, and my father falls in this category. He still uses BSNL. I mean, he still uses BSNL since past 400 years. So he is an unconditionally loyal customer. These kind of customers are never going to churn. So the companies can bet on them. Definitely, they will not leave the company. Another type of customer is I am a customer. I haven't thought about churning because I'm logged in a contract. Now, this concept is not available in India, but outside India, there are contracts. For example, I'm right now in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, we do have contracts. Our mobile networks are on contract. Our Wi-Fi are on contract. When we sign a contract, we have signed for 12 months or 24 months. That means even if I face a problem, they don't give a shit about it. You have to either pay the whole amount or you have to live with it. Simple. Okay. So they are locked in subscribers. Coming on to the dotted line, below the dotted line, I'm a customer. I have thought about churning and I'm not locked by any contract, but I have somehow decided to stay. These customers are conditionally loyal. Again, you cannot trust them. They are conditionally loyal. People who have decided to leave because they have found a better offer, they are conditional churners. People whose needs have changed, they are lifestyle migrators. They are never happy customers. They switch companies every 3 months, every 4 months, they switch companies. Okay. Because I am not satisfied, unsatisfied churner. Now, this is where our company, let's say I'm working for Vodafone, if I am able to identify customers who are falling in this category or this category, I will be able to retain them, but not this category. Lifestyle migrators are very difficult to retain. Okay, this is the entire decision cycle of a subscriber. So these are the 4 different segments. This is a very high level overview of data science led approach to manage churn. It all starts with capturing and analyzing. This is where data analyst comes into picture. The second part is reporting and predicting. In the reporting part, also data analyst or the data visualization expert comes into picture. Predictive part, machine learning or data science team. And here also your predictive analytics, here also data science team comes into picture. Okay, so that's it. I'll quickly jump into the practical code. I already have the Churn EDA file with me. We'll quickly take a 5 minutes break. We will be back at my time 9:30 is 7 p.m. for you. We'll be back at 7 p.m. IST. Okay, give me 5 minutes. I'll quickly have some water and I will be back. In case you have any questions, write down in the chat box. I will be answering the questions at the end of the session. And okay, give me 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. Oh, I am back, but as we have committed, let's give 2 more minutes break in case somebody has gone for water break or something like that. And in the meanwhile, let me pick the questions. So, good evening, good evening. Okay, I already answered. Do you plan to take data warehousing concepts? No, I did not take. Standardization may reduce certain number of outliers. No, sir, it will be great help if you could please schedule a session on ETL. I'll have to figure this out because let's see, next Wednesday maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, not much question. Snowflake will not be covered. ETL, yes, I'll try to cover ETL someday. At least I will not be able to show ETL because ETL is just a concept which is, there are various ETL tools. Okay, I will not be able to explain about those tools because I don't have those tools handy on my system. But I can take a 1 hour session on ETL where I can explain theoretically how things work, which can help you out in answering your interview questions. That I can do. But practicals on ETL is not possible. ETL is not possible. If that is fine, then we can go through a theoretical concepts on ETL and we can do this. Can you please share the link of the GitHub? It's very simple. Remember my GitHub repository as you are part of my family right now. PIK 1989. 1989 is my birth year. PIK is what I don't know. This is my repository. Simply go here, search for Churn. You will get a lot of repositories. Okay. Go for ML project customer ML project churn prediction. Okay. And here you will file this EDA file. You will find the model building part. You will also find this. What is this? Okay, you will also find this EDA. It's a very old EDA PDF file. And you will also find some images for the PPT that I shared. Okay, that you can do. And here also there is a detailed session on EDA. You can go through this EDA video as well. And once you are into your data science journey, you want to learn about machine learning, model building and all, then you can watch out this video, which is one of my top videos on my channel. So you can watch out that. You can see See, I'm famous, 34,000 views. Okay, so here also I've explained about the use case, and then I have done the project deployment and everything. So I have created your, everything has been done here end to end. Okay, now we have already reached 7 p.m. Let's get started with the EDA process. I will quickly run through this code. I will not take much time because detailed line by line code, it will be very difficult for me to go through. Initially, I am importing all these libraries and I am extracting the data. Okay. So I'm reading the data, reading it into a pandas data frame. Okay. Once I have done that, I'm doing data.head. In parallel, we will also open Power BI desktop so that we can also do these things in parallel in Power BI. Initially, I planned for 1 hour session, but it's already 1 hour. So let's see. Telecom Churn, this one. I think this one. This one, yeah. Female, this one. Yes, I'll load it. Guys, if you are liking the stream, please like the video, support the video. Anyways, it's free of cost, doesn't take much of your money from the pocket. Like it, and that's it. Subscribe the channel if you haven't subscribed. Okay, so I have already taken the data. In parallel, I will also show you what I am doing in Python. Okay, so here I am checking how the data looks like. Okay, so you can do the same in Power BI by going to the Power Query editor and you can check your data, right? Or this is what the data looks like. Next step is check various attributes of data like shape, how many columns, how many data types, all these things. These are very basic concepts to check. You can simply check it using your record count. You can simply go to your home screen and you can simply create a new card and check. Oh, my total record count is 4047043. Okay. All these things you can easily do. Here I'm doing column dot values. Here I'm doing the data types. I'm just checking all the data types. You can see some of them are objects, some of them are integer, all these things. Here I'm doing some description, like I'm just describing some features to understand what these features are and what are the statistical information from this particular columns. Even though my data frame has so many columns, in describe, why am I only seeing 3 columns? Because describe function only works for numerical attributes. So only those attributes that are integer or float, for them only describe will give you an output. For others which are object, it treats object as a categorical feature. So it does not return you the output in the describe method. Okay. So again, this will be a little bit manual process. In case you want to do the same thing in Power BI, you simply have to, let's say monthly charges. Simply have to take your monthly charges and compare it. Manually, you have to do all these things. So what is the average? What is the minimum value? What is the maximum value? This you have to do. Minimum value, maximum value, what is the standard deviation, what is the variance, what is the median, all these things. Okay. So similarly, you can create multiple cards for monthly charges, for tenure, and do the same thing. Okay. In parallel, I'm just showing you how you need to do here and there. And I will give you both the options. You can use both the options in Python or Power BI. But I personally prefer Python. Senior citizen is actually a categorical feature. Hence, this 25th percentile, 50th percentile, or 75th percentile distribution is not proper. Okay. 75% customers have tenure less than 55 months. Average monthly charges are 64 USD, whereas 25% customers pay more than $90 a month. That's the insight that we got from this particular thing. I'll move on. Here, what I'm doing is I'm trying to plot my target variable. What is my target variable? Churn. So I'm plotting what is the distribution of churn. So how can I do it here? Simply, I can get my churn column here, access, values, done. And here I will give data labels, done. 5.2K, 1.9K. It's quite visible that this data is imbalanced in nature. So more than 79% or 80% people are not churned or active, and 20-25% people have left the company. That's what it is telling here. Moving on, here it is showing the exact percentage. Okay, you can also do the exact percentage. I haven't tried it though, but I think somewhere it should be possible. I'll check on this. I don't remember how to plot the exact percentage, but this is how it is. Okay, or else you can calculate it manually, right? So data is highly imbalanced, ratio is 73 is to 23. So we analyze the data with other features while taking the target value separately. Here I am doing data.info. Info basically gives you an overall idea about the data. What are the different columns that are available? What are the different types of like data points that you have? Do you have non-null or do you have null characters and something like that? This piece of code will show you percentage of missing values for each column. And as I told you, repeating again, that do not get stressed out by looking at the code. You can simply use the same code for your own EDA. You just have to change few things. Here, instead of this, you have to change it to your own data frame. Here, you want to change it to your own data frame. That's it. Rest, everything remains the same. So you take the code, use the skeleton. That's it. Missing data, initial intuition here is we don't have any missing data. General thumb rules for features with less missing data can use regression to predict the missing values or fill the mean of the values present depending on the feature. For features with high number of missing values, it is better to drop. Now, imagine there is a scenario. There is a scenario car type. There is a column called as car type. Now, car type is, for some people, it is SUV, null, null, XUV, null, null, SUV, null, null, null. Imagine you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 10 records, only 3 records are available, 70% missing values. So what should we do? Should we remove it? Or should we just populate it using our median value? So in this case, the general thumb rule says that you have to remove this. But you should always analyze the column and see whether this column is dependent on another column or not. For example, based on your domain knowledge, you get to know that this column is dependent on another column called as iscar. Iscar, yes, no, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, no, no. And after analyzing this one, you get to know, oh, wherever I have no, there it is null. It's quite obvious. If the customer does not have car, then the car type will be null, right? Because it does not have the car itself. So a better way to solve this problem will be imputing using something called as no car, no car, no car, no car, no car. This could be the best solution here. Okay, rather than just populating using the median value. What is the median here? 2 SUV and 1 XUV. Median is XUV, right? If you would have imputed median XUV, that could have been wrong. Okay. So here, yes, good topic that you mentioned is that whatever we did here, like missing values and all those things, how to perform this in your Power BI, you simply have to go to your transform data and you have to do your data profiling. Column quality will give you error percentage and empty percentage, right? So this is what you need to do in your Power BI. Coming back to EDA, where is EDA? Then comes your data cleaning part, which is the most important thing. Here we have to clean the data. So I have just copy pasted the data and created another data frame. Here I am converting my total charges to numerical object. Why? Because total charges is an object here. So I'm converting it into a numerical data. So same, you can see if you go to your data, when you have clicked on column quality, you can see here total charges. Here you are able to identify, because Power BI automatically has identified total charges as a number. But Pandas is not doing a good job. Pandas identified it as an object. Sorry, this one. So in Pandas, you have to convert the data into two numerical data, and then you have to deal with it. Whether you want to delete these rows or you want to impute it, you have to do it. So here in this case, as it's just 11 records, 11 records out of 7043, which is around 200, which is around 0.15%. So what I have done is I have blindly removed these records. So here, if you want to impute these records, you can use this replace technique, or you can remove the empty data sets, or remove the empty records. You can do that. Let's say you want to replace it first, null with 0. And now let's say you want to select this 0. How many records do we have? These records. Now if you want to delete, you can delete these records. Up to you. It's up to you whether you want to delete it or you want to impute it. But both the ways are possible here, right? Moving ahead, here I'm converting my tenure into, yes, notebook is available. Just go to my GitHub repository, you will get it. Okay. Here what I'm doing is I'm converting the tenure into tenure group. So how to do this in Power BI? I had already explained. People who are joining my live sessions, they know this, right? You can simply create a conditional column, tenure wins, and then you can convert it here. If tenure is greater than 61 or greater than equal to 61, then 61 to 72. Else if tenure is this to this. So this is possible using conditional column. If you don't know about it, go through the day 2 videos, which is 27th March video. You will be able to understand it. Here I am removing some columns like customer ID and tenure. Why am I removing tenure? Simple. Because now I have tenure group. So I don't need the original column. I can delete it. Same with customer ID. Customer ID is not required. So how to do this in Power BI? Right click, remove, done. So both the ways you can do Power BI or Tableau. Sorry, Power BI or Python. Till here, you have already cleaned the data. Okay. After cleaning comes your data exploration. In data exploration, the first topic is your categorical data analysis. In categorical data analysis, one is univariate, one is bivariate, one is multivariate. Now, simple explanation is univariate is nothing but analysis of one column. Let's say you are analyzing gender, male, female. Bivariate means you are analyzing gender, male, female. Along with that, you are also analyzing some other column. Let's say gender with location. Let's say there are Mumbai and Delhi. Male, Mumbai, male, Delhi, something like that. So male, Mumbai and Delhi, Mumbai and Delhi, female, Mumbai and Delhi. So the insight here will be there are more people who are male, they are staying in Mumbai, more females are staying in Delhi. Here where you are analyzing two columns, that's called as bivariate. When you analyze multiple columns, that becomes multivariate. How to do it in Python? I have simply written down 3 lines of code where I am using an iterator. I'm basically using enumerate. Here I'm dropping these 3 columns and taking all the other columns as a predictor and as a data, and here are the insights. So for churn, you can see this is the gender, female and male, female and male. Senior citizen, you can see senior citizen is basically giving you better insights. So let's try to analyze it using our Power BI. We will have senior citizen in my axis. Let me just first convert the senior citizen. Yeah, code will be updated after the class is over, but if you need it in the class itself, you can also go through my GitHub. Where is the editing? Let's say I will have my senior citizen. And then I will have my senior citizen. Churn as a legend, senior citizen as a values. I think I know the problem. Why? Because senior citizen is a numerical attribute. I have to change it to categorical. That is a problem. Maybe I will pick another one. I know another important feature, which is your where we have contract. We'll use contract. Okay, contract. We'll use it as an axis. I'll use it as values, and you can see this is my contract. Okay, you can see that for month to month, let's say I want to give legend some colors, data labels, wait, data colors, no is maybe in red and yes in maybe in blue. Okay, now it makes a little bit clear. So you can see that what does the data tell me here? That for my month to month customers, how many customers are there? Probably around 3.9k. How many 2 yearly customers? So 2 year contract customers around 1.6k. Okay, blue is very minimal, it's not visible at all. Maybe if I can expand it. And then 1 year, which is 1 year contract, which is around 1.5k. Now here you can see people who have left the organization, churn as yes. You can see for month to month customers, the churn ratio is very high, right? For 2 yearly contracts, what is the churn ratio? Just imagine they are in hundreds or 200s. So maybe 100 divided by 1700. The ratio is very low. 100 divided by 1700 multiplied by 100, which is 5.88%. Around that. 1 year, how many? Let's say 200 divided by 1500 multiplied with 100, which is around 13%. So 5% people have left who were having 2 year contracts. 1 year contract, 13% people have left. But month to month, how many? 1700 divided by 3900 multiplied with 100. Around 43% have left the company. So this is an insight to you, right? More monthly customers people are churning. So you can also do this way in your Python way, also do it in your Power BI way also. Okay. Similarly, here what I'm doing is I'm converting the target variable to 1 and 0. That means yes is 1 and no is 0. And then I'm dividing the data. Here I'm performing some get dummies operation, basically to convert the categorical feature to numerical feature. Here I am doing some relationship analysis between monthly charges and total charges. Total charges increase as monthly charges increase, which is as expected, right? Here I'm doing churn by monthly charges and total charges. If you look at this graph is basically monthly charges and total charges with respect to churn or not churn. You can do that using a line chart also. Let's say you want to perform a similar kind of thing, you can do using line charts. So what you need to do is you need to add monthly charges. I will remove this legend. Okay, this is the, yeah, you can see that for monthly charges there is a spike here, and if you add the total charges, maybe I will also add churn as a legend. You can see this churn no. For churn no, you can see there is a spike here, right? So this is the same thing here. There is a spike here in the red category. Red basically means your, which one? Red basically means your monthly charges. So churn is high when monthly charges are high. Similarly, if you do it for total charges, this is how it looks like. If you remove the total charges, this is how it looks like. So in total charges, surprising insight is that higher the churn at lower total charges. However, if we combine the insights of three parameters, that is tenure, monthly charges, and total charges, then the picture is a bit clear. Higher monthly charge at lower tenure results into lower total charge. Hence, all these three factors, that is higher monthly charge, lower tenure, and lower total charges, are linked to high churn. So this is what the insight that we got. Similarly, I have done some correlation, built some correlation matrix here. So what is a correlation matrix? Correlation matrix is simply, again, a lot of statistics is required here. Probably you can go through one of my videos. I have, go to my channel, you know my name, you go to my channel, go to the playlist. There will be a lot of playlists, search for business statistics. Try to go through each of the videos. There are 5 videos. It will hardly take you 1.5 hours. Go through all of them, because those 5 videos are meant to be what do you say, it is required for a data analyst. Okay, so go through that. In one of the videos I have explained correlation in depth, but in short, correlation is simply nothing but the relationship between multiple features. Let's say you have height and you have weight. Now if you analyze height and weight, if your data points are like this, which means when your height is increasing, your weight is increasing. That means height and weight are positively correlated. So your correlation value will be somewhere around 1, definitely greater than 0. Okay, if your data points are like this, which means the data points are decreasing. When height is increasing, your weight is decreasing. This means negatively correlated, where your values of correlation will be very closer to -1 and definitely less than 0. And imagine a scenario where your data points are randomly scattered. There is no relationship. You don't get it. Whether increasing one column is impacting the increasing in another or not. This is neutral. That means those two parameters are not related to each other. Here your correlation value will be somewhere around 0. Could be around -0.2 to 0.2, somewhere around that. So here I am performing the correlation. This graph is simply the correlation with respect to churn. Similarly, there are some insights here. You can go through it. And this is the correlation matrix I'm doing on my entire data frame. Dot core. I'm just calling the dot core function, and I'm plotting it using the heat map. And using, you can see this is the heat map correlation. Okay. So correlation is very important. I will also help you get some insights from this, because without insights does not make sense. So you can see, I will try to find purple ones. Okay, you can see, you can see this box. That means monthly charges and streaming movies, yes. So people who are streaming movies, yes, and monthly charges, they are basically interrelated to each other. Okay. Similarly, in Power BI, I haven't built a heat map, honestly speaking, but there should be definitely a heat map here. And we are, I think we got it. I think this one. I haven't used heat map in Power BI, but this should work. Let's just try it out. Heat map. Here it is asking for category and Y variable. Okay, let's say I want to do a heat map on monthly charges and total charges and churn. Okay, no idea how to read this. Probably I will just get back to you soon. I have no idea on how to create a heat map on Power BI. I will let you know. This is an open question, open. I am not getting the word. This is a open-ended query or whatever it is. I will get back to you. Okay, probably on WhatsApp groups or something. I'll get back to you on this. And then I'm doing some bivariate analysis. Bivariate also, you know that we analyze multiple features, as in two features. So here I'm converting it into two different data sets. One is churn data set and one is a non-churn data set. Here I have defined a function, uniplot function. Again, you have to simply copy paste this function. You don't need to understand this. Once you copy paste it, you simply have to call this plot on your data frame. You have to pass a particular column and then you have to pass a hue on gender. That's it. So this is nothing but your partner versus gender graph. This is bivariate analysis. Partner versus gender graph for your churn subscribers, for non-churn subscribers. And this way you have to move ahead, go through it. It's going to be dead simple, very simple to understand this particular notebook. Go through it. I'll also update the code after the session is over. And the conclusion here is these are some of the quick insights from the exercise. Okay, electronic check medium are the highest churners. Contract type monthly customers are more likely to churn because of no contract terms, as they are free to go customers. No online security, no tech support category are high churners. Non-senior citizens are high churners. There could be many more such insights. So take this as an assignment and try to get more insights. So that is all about this particular session on EDA. I had never done this video on a comparison between Python and Power BI. So I hope you liked it. And that's all about this particular session. We can take some questions. Uh, Let me switch to StreamYard and then we can probably take few questions and that's it, guys. Is this the same EDA required for? Yeah, EDA is EDA. Same EDA, yes. Does not matter if you do EDA using Python or Power BI, but EDA is EDA. Exploratory data analysis. It has data analysis in it, right? So it's required for data analyst. I'll take some questions, guys. In case you have any questions, let me know. Or else maybe you can utilize this session in asking something related to your career or something like that. I will also be able to answer that. Uh, you can start answering. You can start asking. How many days class will be going for EDA? This is just a single class. Okay. So this was embedded as part of the free live Power BI classes. We already had 3 classes on Power BI, and our next class is on 10th of April, which is on live dashboard. And EDA was a little bit prerequisite to it, so I had to take this class. Okay. And henceforth, we will also be doing a lot of live sessions, so don't worry about all these things. I'm totally converting my channel to live classes. Everything will be live. No bullshit, only live classes. The only way that you can support me is by buying some of my Udemy courses or something like that, which I will notify you on channel or on WhatsApp groups. But other than that, everything is going to be free. So down the line in next 6 months, I'm going to teach everything: SQL, machine learning, data science, deep learning. A lot of things will be taught. So questions. Something that is not as per expected. Yeah, abnormalities. Yes, correct. I think it was already covered. What exactly is data cleaning? It's covered in the session. You are audible. Okay, thank you. When you teach Snowflake, I think already answered on Snowflake. I'm not a Snowflake expert. I haven't used Snowflake at all. So I don't know when I don't know about Snowflake. I haven't used Snowflake. But I will teach gateways on this Sunday, probably for 15-20 minutes, not more than that, because our class is dedicated for live dashboard. Thank you, Dipti. You are becoming famous. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not famous on YouTube. I need to be famous. Anyways, questions. Let me scroll down. Are these videos available? Yes, it's going to be available forever. ETL classes as committed. I'll take one session. It will be a theoretical concept session on maybe next Wednesday or something. I don't know. Probably Wednesday. I'll try to take it. Link. I will type out the link here. github.com/pick1989. That's my GitHub, and simply you can find it out. Okay. I'm just mentioning my GitHub repository. How to how to delete duplicates from large data sets? It's very simple. In Power BI, if you want to do it, you can do it, but it's better if you do it in the source data itself. Just search it out. It depends on which tool are you using. If you're using Python, just search how to delete duplicates. You will get different codes on Stack Overflow. You can use that. It's very simple. Is it enough that SQL and Power BI for data analytics? No. I mean, good enough for 40-50% of the companies. Like maybe if you're working, if you're trying for MNC companies or some generic companies, that's fine. But if you are looking out for AI focused companies, or you know, companies who are very much focused on data science and deep learning activities or data analytics activities, in those scenarios, Power BI and SQL will not be enough. You also might need to know about a lot of things. So recommendation will be learning more and more things in parallel: data scraping and Excel and all these things. I am from Ghana and I really like the session. Thank you, Isaac, if I spell out your name correctly. So for a fresher in data science, they expect cloud deployment knowledge. Any resource for learning cloud. Cloud is not required if you are getting into data science domain. But if you want to, for just practicing and preparing for your profile, what you can do is you can start deploying your machine learning and deep learning models on cloud. For that, yes, there is something for you. As I told you, there is a platform. Here you can simply go. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I'll share it. You can simply go to this platform and you will find this link: machine learning model deployment free course. Take it, and it's free because it's available on YouTube as well. If you want to go through my YouTube channel, simply go to my YouTube channel and sorry. I'm watching my own video. Wait. Go to playlists and there will be machine learning. Oh wait. Deployment. This one, machine learning model deployment. This is more than enough for a data scientist. You start deploying models, start learning about Flask. That's it. You don't need end-to-end cloud expertise. Okay. Next question. I think I already answered how to delete duplicates. Very informative session. Thank you, Ritu. When can we expect sequel classes? In May. Definitely in May. So I will be teaching that in May because I'm going back to India in April 14th. So once I am back, I will be taking the classes on SQL. Okay. What is DAX? I think Sai, you should watch my previous video on Power BI part 3. Go to my channel videos. The video that was published on 3rd of April. Sorry, on 27th of March. So go through that video. I have explained DAX in details. Okay, data analysis expressions. Just 5 more minutes and then I will wind up the session. In case you have any questions related to any off-topic question also, that's fine. You can ask me and then we'll wind up. Okay, just 3 more minutes. Tick, 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 tick. The clock is ticking, guys. No questions? Okay. So thank you everyone for joining this session. It was really nice, at least for me. How nice it was for you, you can let me know in the comment section below after the video is published, because the video, as it is a live session, it will take some time to be visible on the channel. So it's a request, as you already are watching, 40 people are already watching right now. It's a humble request to comment down in the video once you see the video tomorrow. Okay, comment down something. If it is useful, comment down. If it is shitty, comment down. Whatever it is, comment down. Okay, because comments and likes is what YouTube needs. Based on that, my video will be recommended to other users, and without that it's very difficult. So, right, so comments and likes are very important. And rest, I know all of you will not be able to share the video because of laziness. I am completely okay with that. But there will be some people, dedicated people, who will be definitely helping me out in sharing the video. Please share and subscribe my channel as well. And we'll see you in the next video or the next session on 10th of April, which is going to be a live dashboard creation on Power BI. How to join a project under your leadership. If you are on WhatsApp group, probably you can reach out to me personally. I will try to give you some ways, but publicly I don't usually tell this because a lot of people will reach out to me. Okay, so you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. Okay, so that's it. That's it, guys. See you. Bye bye. Have a good Wednesday and see you all on next Sunday. What do companies look out for when hiring data scientists? It depends from company to company. Many companies look out for multiple roles. Like I have applied for multiple roles. They sometimes, if the company is too much focused on NLP, they will be asking or having NLP related criterias in their job description. In that case, you need to know about machine learning, you need to know about NLP, you need to know about the deployment part. So it depends from company to company. But whatever it is, they mention everything in the GD itself. So what list that you need to have is going to be machine learning, and definitely deployment part, Flask and all those things is also very required. EDA, concepts of statistics, concepts of data analytics, all these things are also required. Okay, see you guys, and see you on Monday. Bye bye.